Okie dokes, okie dokes, okie dokes, okie dokes, okie dokes. So, feet about hip width apart. We start off from the very bottom with the feet. Just lift your big toes up. Push the little toes down, hold them for a few seconds. And then switch, push the big toes down. And lift the little toes up. Try and spread them out as much as you can. Hold them for a brief second. And then drop it down. Let's do it again. Lift big toe up. And then take it down. And then little toes. Lovely, lovely. We can do one more on each. Big toes again. Lift them right up as high as you can. And then down. And then the little toes. Right, so I'm going to just step my right leg forward. I put my left foot onto the ball of the foot, so it'll give me a bit of leverage. And I'm just going to push my right knee as far forward as I possibly can, keeping that foot flat on the floor, so you get a little bit of mobility and movement into that ankle and calf muscle. Now, if you want to try and increase, if you've got any problems with the feet, do the same thing, but with the big toe lifted on that front foot. See if you can keep that big toe lifted and push that knee forward. So it helps to strengthen some of the muscles in the feet at the same time. You might feel the stretch a little bit differently. You might start to lose your balance a little bit. That'd be funny if you fell over. And then you can switch. You can try and push the big toe down, lift the little toes, and then push forward again. Or if you're not happy with the feet, just keep the toes down and just try and push a little bit more into that movement each time. Let the knees come right over the toes if you can. Heel stays nice and flat. We're going to do just one more, and we're just going to switch. Step the left leg forward. Same thing. Right foot is on the ball of the foot. Push it forward, and then back. And again, if you want to do it with the feet, with the toe, should I say? Big toe lifted. Do a couple there. And then you can switch, and then lift the little toes. Just a couple more. And then just relax. Feet about hip width apart again. We're just going to bend our right leg up to 90 degrees so the foot's directly behind. And then try and keep the hips as still as possible. Just turning that foot out and in so you get that rotation through the thigh. You'll feel it probably more when you take the heel out to the side, and maybe not so much here. Hips stay as still as possible. Let's do just one more and we'll switch. So just starting from the bottom, just working up gently. Again, just pushing that heel out, leg at 90 degrees, push the heel out to the side and then bring it behind the other leg. So you probably won't feel too much when you bring it across the body, or you might not feel anything at all. Then relax, feet down. So we're just going to try and get a bit of lateral movement into the hips. So we're going to stand on our right foot and just let our left foot hover an inch or two off the floor. And all I want to do is imagine that you're lifting your left hip upwards and then dropping it down. So you bring it up to bring the foot away from the floor, and then slowly drop it down and tap the floor. If you want to make it a little bit more range, you can bend that leg, but still just work on the hip. So as you drop, you should be able to go a little bit lower because the foot won't hit the floor, and you just lift the hip up to the side and then drop it down. Try and keep the chest as neutral as possible. So when you lift, you might feel like a little bit of a crunch in the lower back on the one side. And then you might feel a hole opening up a little bit on the outer thigh on the other side. Right there, Jill. Back hurting. Do just one more and then we'll switch. Other side. So you're just like literally trying to get a little bit of lateral tilting into that pelvis. Good for some of those nice tight lower muscles in the back. Elliot looks like a sailor when he does it. Ooh, sailor. We'll do just 2 more, and then we'll get some rotation in through that waist as well. Relax. Feet slightly wider than hips. Bring your hands up and just rotate through. Nothing too crazy, but just try and get a little bit of twist in. Keep your hips to the front. Take it a little bit further each time if you wish. Nothing too violent, but just a little bit of momentum to carry you through. One more on each side. And then relax, take it down, take it down, take it down. Right, hands, bring them up level with your shoulders. Palms facing down. We're going to rotate the thumbs all the way to the back of the room. Take it as far as you can so it pulls the chest and shoulders back. And then you rotate it forward and all the way round. And this time it'll rotate the shoulders all the way forward. So get as much movement as you can through that shoulder, all the way forward, all the way back. And just 1 or 2 more. Squeeze it forward and back. Last one. Then relax. Give the shoulders a little roll. So we're going to do what's known as nerve flossing. So if you've got any tight tight nerves coming from the neck down the arm, just do it really, really gently, just in case. So I want you to just drop your head to the right hand side, and then with your left hand, pick your fingers up so you extend from the wrist. So your hand is lifted up backwards, and then just start to lift your arm up slightly towards the shoulder, and then slowly take it back down. If you feel like a real tightness, a bit of a tingling down the arm, it could be that one of the nerves is a little bit tight. So just do it very gently, very, very gently. It might not be a nerve, it might be a muscle, but if it's a bit of a tingly sensation, it might be a bit of nerve. So you can work into it. So bring the head to the center, then lift the hand and drop the head and lift the arm at the same time. Nice and gentle, and then come back and then lift the head. So you still get that mobility into the neck at the same time. Just do about 4 or 5, don't do too many. And then we'll switch. So we'll go this time, right hand lift up, head drops to the left, right hand comes up. Can any of you feel anything in that? Yeah, 1 or 2. So the best way to try it, see if it is a nerve or not, is when you lift your hand up, back your arm up, don't lift your hand. See if that makes any difference. See if you get the same pull down the arm. And if you don't, when you lift, it's just extending some of those nerves. And if it's a bit more tingly, it can just be a little bit of tightness that you need to work on. Not every day though, every other day with these ones. One more. Then relax. Right, so we're going to find a little space against the wall. Let me show you first. You're going to put your arm out straight and you're going to turn your fingertips down so you push your hand against the wall. Now you get a bit of uncomfortableness through the wrist, but we're aiming to try and stretch off some of these muscles in the biceps. So we push against the wall and then ever so slightly you'll push your shoulder forward and then back. You won't get much movement, it'll literally be just a couple of millimeters. Don't force it too much, but just move it forward and then back. So some of you will find it quite uncomfortable through the wrist, maybe on the bottom or through the side. But if you can just try and move that chest an inch or two forward, you'll probably feel it predominantly in the chest, maybe the front of the shoulder, but it helps to just lengthen through that bicep and through another nerve that we got that comes down the bicep. Again, just about 5 or 6. And then once you've done that, just switch arms. Relax. So again, turn the fingertips down towards the floor, arm nice and straight. Just push it forward a little and then back. We're going to do one more against the wall after this, and this is for a little bit of thoracic extension. Relax, relax, relax. Give the shoulders a little roll. So we're going to kneel down against the wall and we're going to put our arms like this. So this is going to be our position. You're going to put your elbows against the wall, like so, and then you're literally just going to slide your elbows up an inch or two of the wall, and then back down. And right in the centre of this back, you're just getting a little bit of extension movement, yeah? If you don't want to kneel down, Jill, you can stay standing, yeah? Come close to the wall, but what we want to try and do is eliminate too much movement from the pelvis. So come nice and close, elbows forward, and then from here, all you're doing is sliding those elbows up the wall, getting that extension into that middle back, and then slowly back down. You might only move 2 or 3 inches, that's fine. Just lift, and then back. So make sure you're lifting and moving through that centre back, because it's quite easy to just pull the head back and work through the neck. So you want to really get that extension work into that. You'll feel it just below or just in the middle of the shoulder blades. Keep breathing as you lift. Again, we'll aim for about 5 or 6. And then once you've done your 5 or 6, come away from the wall and then come on down, and we're still going to stay on these knees. Body weight is forward, like so, hands down. And we're just going to put our right hand behind our head and rotate backwards. So if you've got any back pain, we're trying to loosen off everything from the bottom and from above it. So if you've got lower back pain, we've done the side tilting and the rotations, and now we're trying to rotate slightly above it. So if we just loosen off through that mid-thoracic area, extend backwards. Again, 5 or 6 on each side. Once you've done those 5 or 6, just take that right hand down and do the same on the left. Lovely jubbly. Coming up to hands and knees, and taking the hands slightly further away than usual, just so we can get that movement, so we can drop back into that child's pose, and then gently come forward and push the hips down, lift the chest, so we can come up into that up dog or cobra. And again, just ease on through. Try and get as much movement into that mid and lower back as possible. Nice and gentle. Don't rush the movement. From here, just push the bum back over those heels. Let the feet turn and tuck in or untuck as much as you need to. Let's just do 2 more. And after these 2, we're going to come around. So we're on our bottoms. Our feet tight in front. So if we bring the right leg across, take the left leg out to the side. If you've got a little bit of movement there, you can use your hand to press down if you want, just to try and increase. If you haven't, don't worry about it too much. You can just move in and out of this movement. So just come forward. Like I said, you can add the arm onto the knee and press down a little bit more. Just pulse it forward. Keep the chest up, nice and flat with the back. Do 1 more and then go towards the foot rather than just across the center of the leg. Just come a little bit towards the heel of that foot. Do about 4 or 5 of each, and then we switch legs. Everyone all right? So once you've done your 4 or 5 again, same on the other side. Use the hand if you want to push down a little bit, increase. Really good mobility exercise, really good one this one, all right, is to try and get the corners of your mouths to reach your earlobes a couple of times. Makes it look like you're smiling then. Once you've done these, we're going to go towards the heel of the foot. How's that one on your lower back? And relax. Both feet out in front, slightly wider than the hips, legs are bent. Place the hands behind so you've got a little bit of support for the upper body, and then from here we just drop both knees from side to side. I like this one, it's one of my favourite ones. Do one more on each side. Then relax. Right, there's two options for the next one. We're targeting the hamstrings. It depends on your flexibility. So option number one is you tuck one leg in, you place the hands over the foot, you can bring your leg up to 90 degrees, and all you do is you extend upwards and then back down. Now if that's too much, you can do the same thing, but place your hand behind the thigh here and just straighten the leg out so you get that pull down the back of the thigh, and then relax. So take whichever option you're more comfortable with. This one will obviously get a little bit of upper body work in there as well, because it'll stretch off some of those muscles around the upper back. And you can also lift, as you get the leg straight, you can lift a little bit higher to increase. You can do the same with the hands behind the thigh as well. Look at all you flexible mofos now, eh? Bendy bitches. Let's do just a couple more. And then relax and switch. Other side. Again, take whichever option you prefer. I need to get myself some yoga socks with some grips on. That's why I keep having to take my socks off so I don't slip on my mat. And then my feet's really cold because I'm in a shed. Again, just one or two more. Then relax. We're going to bring our feet together, take our knees wide, bums reasonably close. Place your hands behind, just like you did on that when you drop your knees from side to side. Hands slightly behind, lift up through the chest. And what we need to do is use the muscles in the legs to pull the knees down to the floor, and then use your arms to just push yourself forward and then ease it back off. So legs down, then ease forward, then just ease both back off. Nice and controlled. So you might feel a bit more of an increase around the tops of the thighs into the hip a little bit as you push yourself forward. We'll do two more and then we're going to lie on down. Relax, relax. Lie all the way back. We're going to do the glute bridgey one. So I want you to really focus on the pelvic tilt first. So it's quite easy to just keep the feet flat and just lift your bum. But we don't want to do that. What we want to do is tuck your pelvis first. So before you start to draw the belly button in and you tuck the pelvis underneath, and it'll slightly lift your bum away from the floor, and then you roll up from the spine, starting from the bottom, rolling as high as you can get, so you push your hips up to the ceiling, and then when you're there, you're going to roll it back down. So a little bit at a time, roll down through the spine, nice and controlled. When you get to the bottom, just let the pelvis untuck and it should just relax, and you'll get that arch into the back again. So you're almost eliminating that arch. You push that arch down into the floor to start to tuck the pelvis. Roll all the way up. And then roll all the way down. to do 5, but make sure they're nice and slow and controlled. Don't rush any of them. Get as much of a tuck into that pelvis as you can. And then we start to roll it up. Roll it. Once you've done your 5th one, all I want you to do is stay in this position, but work a little bit on that pelvic tilt. So you're going to stay, as you get to the bottom of this one, we're going to keep our bums down. And all I want you to do is imagine that you've got this little arch underneath your lower back, and then you're going to tilt your pelvis, which almost makes the arch disappear. And you're going to tilt it back to increase that arch. Just do that, like 5 to 10 times, nice and controlled again. Little pull back, and then a little push forward. So some of you will feel barely anything in this one, but it's a real nice one to just open up and loosen off a couple of those really small little muscles around the top of the pelvis, lower back, front of thigh, like front of the pelvis, like your hip flexor area. Once you've done a few of those, just to open up that pelvis just a little bit, we've got one more to do. See you in a bit. We've got one more to do. We're going to bring our right leg up to 90 degrees. We're going to use our left hand just to fold it over, keeping the shoulders down, and then bring it back to the center. We're going to do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Ease it down as close to the floor as you possibly can get with that knee, and then back. Once you've done your 5th, just switch to the left leg. Do the same thing. Left leg comes up, grab it with the right hand, bring it over, slowly bring it back. Again, we just got 5 to do. Once we've done our 5, we are finished. There you go, peoples. We are finished. Right, so Thursday, I need you to bring a pillow. Not for sleeping, no. Not for sleeping.